Anyone just let me know?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
All good? Lovely. So thank you very much for people that have joined the Cricket East National Programmes Workshop. Okay, feel free to keep your cameras off. You don't need to have them on. Just keep mics on mute as well. There'll be times for questions at the end as well. So if you do have any questions, keep hold of them or put them in the chat. That's absolutely fine. Just a quick introduction. Myself, obviously, James Exey. I've also got Emily Banks on the call. I've got Damian Redpath and also Brad. So we're here to obviously answer any questions that you might have as well. So just going through the bit of agenda and what we're going to cover. We're going to look at some girls section stuff, so Dynamos girls mainly, volunteer recruitment, looking at how we can make some profit through All Stars and Dynamos, then looking at how to promote your club, looking at the Chance to Shine schools, programs that we deliver around schools in the local area, thinking about junior progression and next steps after All Stars and Dynamos, looking at some national launch stats, and then also some roadmap update and then questions at the end as well. Just quickly though, I just want to say thank you for your running national programs at your club. Without you, lots of children wouldn't have a great first experience of cricket. So we really do appreciate it. Everyone at Cricket East really massively appreciates your hard work. So I'm going to hand over to Damian to just talk through some of the girls stuff.
Okay. So really sort of the big question we need to be asking ourselves is, why do we need kind of more girls teams or more sections? And that tends to be because, well, we hope that when girls can be all together, they have a lot more fun, we think. Sometimes they can be slightly overshadowed by boys in their group, and as a result, kind of their confidence kind of dips. Because we know that girls often need a lot more encouragement and reassurance that they can actually do it, particularly if this is their first experience of cricket. They want to learn new skills, they're keen to learn new skills, but they need to have obviously the space and the confidence to do that. And often, so if we have them in girls-only environments, I think they feel a little bit more free to kind of develop and learn and perhaps push themselves a little bit more than they would do if they're feeling a little bit overshadowed by the boys. What we're actually keen to do, and we're not saying that because you're a girl at a club that you have to train in a girls-only environment, but what we'd actually like to see is that the girls have a choice on where they'd like to go. So if they would like to train, and if they're training and playing currently with boys, they may be happy to do so, but there'll be some girls for whom they will get a limit to that. And what we don't want is for them to then drop off. But if they've got the option to train in a girls only environment, hopefully that way they're going to be with their friends, they're having a good time, and they're more likely to stay sort of at club level. And as we know, with cricket, we spend a lot of time with each other, and it's being social with our friends is a huge part of it, and that's something that we should celebrate as a sport, that we can create these real friendships, and because of that, hopefully they have more fun, they want to stay, and they want to carry on playing. So for our clubs to be able to offer girls only gives that club give the girls within their clubs so much more choice on what they want to do. Next slide, James, please. So this is currently what our pathway structure looks like for girls in Bedfordshire at the moment. And when we see these sections, we're not actually saying that it follows, they have to do All Stars, then they go to the next stage, then they go to the next stage. But at the moment, the offer that girls have within Bedfordshire follows something like, we could do All Stars as our starting point, and then we could move in to hopefully a girls only Dynamos programme. And from that, the girls that are taking part in Dynamos and their clubs can come along to some of the festivals. The joy of the festivals is if a club doesn't have enough for a team, but has 4 or 5 girls that are really keen, those 4 or 5 girls can come, take part in one of our festivals, we'll put them into teams, and we'll just give them that first real experience of playing matches in a ground different perhaps to their own, so they kind of get to start to experience what competitive match cricket is about. This year in Bedfordshire, we've got a girls under 11 league taking part, and we're also running a little cup competition. From that, we can have girls then taking part in an under 13 league, and there is also an under 16 league. As part of that, there will be cup competitions, whether softball or hardball. And at the moment in Bedfordshire, I think it's safe to say the women there have probably got the most comprehensive offer in terms of what you can play. We've got an indoor league that's running both softball and hardball, which has just concluded. And then we've got more or less every other offer you could want. We've got 11-a-side hardball cricket. If that's not really what, the level that you're at or what you want to do, we've also got 8-a-side pairs softball, and we've also got some 8-a-side pairs hardball as well. So when we look at this in terms of a pathway, we've got some clubs that have started with a women's team and then are moving backwards and starting to backfill. Some clubs have started with an under-13s and have gone either way, and some have literally started with an under-11s and are building all the way through. So it's not necessarily saying that one thing has to follow the other, or it could be you get a women's team going because you've got some under-11s and the mums are keen to play while the under-11s. So there's no kind of hard or fast. If we move on to Huntingdonshire, the pathway looks slightly different at the moment, primarily because, one, the women's side is not as well developed, which has obviously got to be a major focus for us, particularly now that we have a combined county side for the women, which is Bedfordshire and Huntingdonshire. So we need to see some clubs in that. And so Emily and I are going to be running a very festival-based, very informal kind of training. Come along, let's play some matches, hopefully get some women really enjoying playing cricket, and then we can look to sort of develop that. But again, just like in Bedfordshire, we've got All Stars, some girls only Dynamos. Again, there's going to be festival programs running, a little bit of league cricket and some cup competitions as well. So if we just move on. Right. So as a club, in terms of making ourselves sort of more inclusive, and a phrase we kept using, I think, on Sunday at the volunteer conferences, creating that welcoming environment, is we need to be kind of considering getting more women involved in our clubs, so that, one, the girls who are playing within our clubs are seeing women as part of the whole workforce. So that is whether that's women coaches, women taking part sort of leadership roles in terms of umpiring and scoring. And for that also, we also need to see representation on the committees, and because that enables the club as a whole to kind of expand and grow. It's kind of the thought processes and help with the decision making. Often with our clubs, in terms of the environment, things that we might not think are important but is like, what is our changing room space like? If we're a girl turning up to a club and we're part of a mixed team, are we just left where everyone else piles into a changing room? Is there a space made available for us where we can go and get changed? Even down to the point of, do the toilets, what condition are they in? Are they actually able to lock? That can obviously have a very negative impact on kind of that impression that females coming into our clubs can have. We can talk a lot about kind of that coach mentality and coach education around what kind of environment are we creating for those girls to train in? Are we making decisions sometimes that might have the sort of the best of intentions, but actually the implications of which kind of have a very negative impact? And by that I mean things like, where are we allowing girls to bat and bowl within a mixed team? Are we sending a message that kind of goes, we're not quite sure if you're good enough? And often then the boys can pick up on that messaging, and then that reinforces kind of that sort of negative impression that the girls then lose a bit of confidence, and we've got ourselves into a bit of a vicious circle. So I think as coaches, we really need to be offering very positive language around getting the girls involved, helping boost their confidence, putting them into positions where they kind of take a little bit of a leadership role within a game can really, really help. In terms of what kit we wear and things like that, now, there are a lot more options out there. Coloured clothing for women. Actually, now we've got kit manufacturers that are specifically producing kit for women. So often within our clubs, can we be thinking about what they're playing in, what they're training in? Do we give girls the options to perhaps, wear a club shirt and maybe just some leggings or something underneath, if that's going to make them more comfortable in how they play? And then I think in terms of the clubhouse as a whole, does it reflect the makeup of our club? Is if we walk into a club, is it very much kind of the old photographs of old teams that are all of men, or does the sort of the photographs on our walls, does it reflect our club? Do we have even pictures of our children doing all-stars or junior teams and things like that? So it really kind of brings the club kind of to what it is now rather than what it perhaps was. And then really, I think just sort of finishing off would be the code of conduct that we can really tie in with that kind of coach mentality and coach education, that if there is kind of behavior or language that's being used that isn't appropriate, that isn't creating that welcoming environment, then the code of conduct can be a really, really useful and powerful tool to help reinforce kind of the environment we want to create within our clubs, which is one that that cricket is a game for everybody. Everybody is welcome, and everyone's going to be allowed to kind of enjoy and take part. And I think that's me done, James.
I believe so. Thank you, Damien. Appreciate that. So we're going to move on to... Yes, very much so. We're going to move on to some volunteer recruitment. We all know how important volunteers are to keep clubs running, so it is vital that we try and recruit more people to help. Activator training, trying to get people to go on to activator courses. The dates that we had obviously one on Sunday, on April the 6th. We've also got two more. We've got April 24th at Ampto and April the 28th at Houghton and Witton as well. So make sure, if you know people who are interested and keen to help, to try and send them on those activator training days. The more activators that you have, the better. The ECB have got some guidance, which is the link that's there, which we'll also send out. There's 10 steps on how to recruit more volunteers and how to recruit activators. The main sort of three I would say is obviously just check Club Spark as much as you can. When parents sign up to Club Spark and sign their kids up to All Stars and Dynamos, they have a little tab that they can click to see if they're interested in helping. So please keep an eye on Club Spark. An idea that a lot of clubs have done as well is a thing called Week Zero. So the week before your actual scheduled delivery, invite all the All-Stars or Dynamos parents and children to come down. It's a very informal session. It gives them a chance to meet who you are, the activators and the coaches, and also a great chance to meet the club safeguarding officer as well. And then also, if you've got parents that you know are keen, then you can obviously then say, look, if you are keen to help, if you put down this interest, then come and talk to me. And then obviously then you can get them involved straight away from week one. And then the other thing is just make the sign up to being an activator or coach really clear. Make sure it's transparent and easy for them to understand what's required of them per session. It could just be that they're supporting a group. It doesn't have to be a straight away an activator, okay? Or it could just be helping set up some equipment and the games at the start of the session. Some extra tips as well. Try and have a look at maybe getting players from the club to come help. So your junior and your senior sections. Obviously, it can be pretty difficult to get that synergistic approach, but if you can get the seniors helping as much as you can with the juniors, that creates a really good environment. And then also using any shop credits that you have made to entice people with some kit, because everybody loves a bit of free kit as well when they're coaching. So we can talk about monetizing as well, so how we can generate maybe some profit. We want sustainability for clubs so that obviously national programs can keep running year on year, and obviously clubs need to generate some profit. So a few ideas are, obviously, I think most clubs will probably do this, but having a barbecue, and just maybe considering what we have at those barbecues as well, not just meat options, but can we have veggie options? Can you have halal options and things like that cater for a wider audience? Another idea, which is grabbing some food vans to come in and advertise maybe to the whole area. So I know that Up would have done that as well. And then also having a junior night rather than splitting delivery across the week. So if you can have your All-Stars and Dynamos running maybe the session before your under-9s, under-11s, it just creates a big junior night, lots more people there, and a greater atmosphere, which hopefully people then want to spend a little bit more money. If you have any other ideas, then please share across with Cricket East. It'd be really nice to know how other clubs do it as well, because obviously then we can share and we can help other clubs out. So promotion. So promoting your club is so important to boost your numbers. I know that Will sent through some guidance from the ECB and also some from Cricket East on how best to promote your club. The best methods, I would say, is looking at the ECB resource hub. There's loads of resources on that link, flyers and posters that you can use on your social medias. Also, you've got school visits and things like that. So if you know you've got contacts in local schools, please reach out to them, go and deliver some assemblies or just do some leaflet drop-offs. If you need help contacting your local schools, you don't have anybody there, please obviously contact myself, and then we can obviously see if we've got any contacts around those areas. Please use social media, use Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, which is X now, because that's obviously how this younger generation do see a lot of adverts and things like that. Use your other sports. So use, if you've got football WhatsApp groups and rugby WhatsApp groups, anything like that, word of mouth is a big way of promoting your club. Please stick a flyer or something in those WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups, because that really does help. And then lastly, just leaflets in local community hotspots. So your notice boards or shops or cafes, something that's got maybe a high foot traffic that can really just maybe catch someone's eye. So how we're promoting, how Cricket East are doing that, we deliver in schools. So we have our Chance to Shine school program, which I will talk about as well, where we go into schools and deliver for 6 weeks. So we're promoting through that. We do engagement days as well at certain schools, trying to boost numbers for national programs where we promote through that. Social media, we're doing some targeted ads as well at the minute. So across the 2 counties, trying to get more people to click on the link and sign up. And then also we'll be doing some school leaflet drop-offs as well, just to try to really push and promote some All-Stars and Dynamos cricket. If you've got any other ideas as well on promotion that you use, please again share them. It's obviously vital for us to have some extra knowledge on how to do that as well. So Chance to Shine. So for people that don't know or haven't heard of Chance to Shine, they're an independent cricket charity that provides schools with 6 weeks of free coaching, fully funded coaching and cricket. We deliver in schools and use that time to also promote our national programs. The main areas that Chance to Shine focus in are the targeted schools of high free school meal percentages and deprived areas. But we do have then engagement days that we go in and deliver to then obviously for outside opportunities, and we push exit routes at that as well. And then for both our whole school programs and then our engagement days, we deliver some assemblies where we show exit routes. So we show the national programs so that kids have an idea of where they can go to find some more cricket. If you would like to know what schools we deliver at, then again, feel free to contact myself, and I can obviously talk to you about which schools that we deliver in, and maybe you can come and help us with some assemblies, and we can obviously help promote your national program clubs. So next steps after national programs. So looking at transitioning, I've mentioned it already. Try to have your national programs run on the same night as your junior cricket. So having your All-Stars or Dynamos run 5:30 while 6:30, and then having your junior cricket run 6:30 while 7:30, especially under 9s, because obviously the All-Stars and Dynamos then get to see that progression, and they obviously then parents get to see what the next steps are. Start a Dynamos. If you've already got an All-Stars, try and start a Dynamos, whether that's mixed or really push girls only, to keep that softball offer after obviously 9 years old. Okay, because some people might not want to go into hardball cricket straight away. So keep a softball offer using a Dynamos cricket offer instead. And then run some transition training for new starters to hardball. I know that Damien and Emily have done this for the women's teams as well that are new to hardball, but if you do have some very brand new starters, then try to transition them through by doing some taster sessions maybe for hardball before sending them into under 11s cricket. So just some national launch stats. So we've had 516 sign-ups for All-Stars cricket for 29 clubs. For our Dynamos girls, we've had 52 sign-ups for 13 clubs. And then for our mixed Dynamos, we've had about 140 sign-ups from 11 clubs. Just to mention that not a lot of clubs at the minute are at max capacity, so we really want you to promote as much as you can. We'd love to see as many clubs at full capacity for their All-Stars and Dynamos as we can, so please keep promoting, and obviously we'll do the same as well. So just looking at this, hopefully you've all seen this. I think Will sent this out before Christmas. This is our national programs roadmap. The reason why we sent it out was just so you have an idea of dates, key dates, and where we are in relation to the start of All-Stars. So currently we're on this National Programs Online Workshop. I know it says the 2nd of April there, but because we got pushed back from last week. So we're coming into now leaflet drop-offs to school in April. We've got assemblies, and then also we've got a mascot twinkle visits to schools. And then also those two more activated training courses as well in April. all ready for hopefully the national programme start around about the start of May, so the 2nd to the 8th of May. So please keep promoting your clubs, keep pushing until those national programmes do start. Final updates, please continue to get your clubs compliant on ClubSpark. It's really, really important. Again, I know that you've probably had a lot of contact with Kay and Will about compliance, but again, safeguarding, DVS, things like that, insurance, please make sure they are on there before the start of your programs. I've mentioned it a lot, but continue to promote your clubs. We're going to do the same. We do want to see as many, like I said, as many clubs up to max capacity as we can. And again, if any help is needed, please, please, please let us know. You're not on your own. We're here to help as well. We want to see as many kids join All Stars and Dynamos cricket as we can. Thank you for listening. If there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, or if you just want to shout out, then more than welcome to as well. I shall stop sharing my screen. If there's any questions, then let me know. I'll take the silence as good. Lovely. If everyone's happy. Matt and Nick, are you happy?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. It's just nice to hear a bit more. I'm quite new to the scheme itself, and yeah, I was very impressed with it last year, and it's great to hear all the kind of background work that goes on with the club. I don't know how involved I can get in it, but it's good to hear anyway. So thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely no problem from my point of view.
Lovely. Awesome. I will stop recording.
Mhm.
And I will share.